Gambling God, Friday, November 15, 2019, in the studio. We have a request from Anthony D to move the camera back. Joe wants it forward. The good news is that we have the phone line. This is the hotline. Now, this is not a speakerphone. The speakerphone has been ordered from Amazon. It is arriving tomorrow. So tomorrow, Saturday, November 16, we will open the phone line. It's been crawling on me. Like somebody's crawling on me. We will open the phone lines for the first time. We are going to live stream. I don't know how to do these things. We'll figure it out, though. Tomorrow afternoon, we will live stream during the college football games. We will take your calls during the fixed NCAA football. So this phone is just, it does work. Okay, I've sent you guys, I still don't have the phone number memorized, 347 something. You guys, I sent it to you guys. I'm sorry. I should know these things. In any event, we'll get to it. Gambling God here on your Friday, bringing you the preview for your fixed sporting events tonight. We will review last night a number of fixed games that we predicted. Some slipped away at the end, but for the most part, we were on point with most of these games. Starting with your fixed NFL, with Myles Garrett assaulting Mason Rudolph. Just so we're clear, if any of us would have done what he did at our jobs, we'd be in a fucking holding cell, no bail, okay, assault with a deadly weapon. All this guy gets is suspended. I don't know how these professional athletes get away with trying to kill each other in public unless it's fixed, which of course it is, because that got the nation talking about the game that no one gives a shit about. Now everybody cares about Myles Garrett and Cleveland, the helmet, Mason Rudolph, red-nosed reindeer. Think about it, Rudolph, it's the season, the whole thing. Kaepernick is working out tomorrow, apparently. The NFL is doing everything they can to get the publicity going. I'm hip to it. I see what's going on. It's all bullshit. I didn't watch 1 minute of the game at all. But if you tuned in yesterday, and you should tune in, because, you don't have anything better to do, right? Neither do I. If you did tune in, you would have seen that I predicted the Cleveland Browns to win the game. They never trailed. They were up 14-0, won the game 21-7. I told you to take Cleveland. I told you to take the under. Both plays hit. I don't know what else you could have taken. Anyone taking the over in that game is you're just off your rocker. So I had Cleveland on the under. We were 2 for 2 in that one. We're gonna mark that as a win for the Gambling God. Over to the NBA. I told you there was no value in Dallas to win at 7.5. I told you I was very shaky on the Knicks because of their performance, but I did tell you if you felt frisky, try the Knicks. The Knicks won the game, clearly fixed. Knicks, fixed. Knicks, fixed. You don't see it? I do. I told you to try a Knicks-Brooklyn parlay. Brooklyn let it slip through the fingernails. They were up, and then once my friend Steve was at the gym and started noticing that Denver was down by 10, all of a sudden Denver came back. Steve, stay off the TV, stay on the elliptical. Knicks win, beating Dallas 106-103, sweeping the season series from Porzingis, Luka Doncic. I don't know how to say it. I'm just going to call him Luka. I don't know how to say the guy's name. Another triple-double. The youngest player since Magic Johnson to have a triple-double at Madison Square Garden. Who cares about those statistics? They just put these things up on the ESPN for people to talk about at the water cooler. So we hit the Knicks on the spread and the win there. No value in Dallas. I did say I like Dallas to win. I'm not, listen, I'm not one of these guys that tells you I hit every game. I definitely don't. But the Knicks had value there. Knicks, fixed. Clippers at New Orleans. I lost this one. I had the Clippers. I thought they'd be ready to play. Paul George made his season debut. Of course, he scored 33 points. 33 is the number that the Freemasons refer to it as the highest degree. 33rd degree Freemason. 33 vertebrae. Jesus died at age 33. Anyone that watches knows how important the number 33 is to the Freemasons. Mason Rudolph, 33. Paul George, 33 points. This is a recurring theme that you will see constantly. We will get into numerology and how Freemasons code numbers into words. But in any event, the Clippers, we had them to win. They were ahead. Drew Holiday went bananas. They said it's just how they drew it up. Ha ha. This is their little play on words that they pretend like they don't mean it, but they do. It's just how they drew it up. Just like in the football, they say the first 15 plays are scripted. Not the first 15. All of them are scripted by Carmine, Angelo, Dominic, Mario, and Luigi. Yes, the script is in. The fix is in. The New Orleans Pelicans defeat the Los Angeles Clippers. So we missed on this one. I had the Clippers. We missed it. I did tell you the next game, I told you to take the Bulls to cover. The Bulls covered the 11.5. They lost by 9. I told you to buy it up to 13.5. Didn't even need to. They lost by 9. Milwaukee with the win. No value in Milwaukee minus 11.5. But Bulls covered. That's a winner for the gambling god. Atlanta at Phoenix. I told you to take Phoenix to win, Atlanta to cover. I split these. Phoenix won and covered. Atlanta did not cover. Phoenix looking impressive. Kelly Oubre showing the promise that he exemplified at Kansas. Needed some time to come into his own, and now finally rounding into form with Devin Booker, Frank the Tank Kaminsky, Aaron Baines, all playing very well. All without DeAndre Ayton when he comes back. God knows how that team is going to be. They look like a force to be reckoned with. Imagine they had kept Josh Jackson, another Kansas product. So we were 50-50 on this one. Brooklyn at Denver. Brooklyn covered, did not win. I liked them to win, but I did tell you to cover at least a 7.5, which they did. I told you to buy it up. They didn't need to. Brooklyn covers. Denver wins. I saw no value in a Denver win, but I did see value in a Brooklyn cover. So we split those. NHL, Rangers at Tampa Bay. I told you this was the game for the Rangers to show what they had, if they were going to make it or break it. They gave up 4 goals in the first period. They were down 4-1. They lost the game 9-3, I believe. So clearly the Rangers are not ready for the big time. I didn't see value in Tampa Bay minus 272. I did see value in the Rangers on the money line. Rangers are not ready to take that next step. They have beaten some very good teams this year. They beat Nashville. In a very big surprise. They had a couple of other big wins. I can't remember the other team they beat that was very good. But the Rangers clearly are not in that A level yet, maybe still in the high C, low B level. So we missed on that one. Carolina at Buffalo. I told you to take Carolina to win it in a shootout. They won it in overtime because every game goes to overtime. So we had Carolina winner for the gambling god. Winnipeg at Florida. I told you to take Florida. Winnipeg won it in overtime because, actually, no, excuse me, they did not win it in overtime. They won it, I believe, 4-3 in regulation. They were up, and Florida made a game of it, but fell short. I normally like Winnipeg as a value play, but I do like Florida at home. We missed on that one. That was a loss. Arizona at Minnesota. Arizona had the lead. I liked them on the road. Minnesota pulled it out. That's a loss for the gambling god. Minnesota beats Arizona. Colorado and Edmonton. We had Edmonton. They won the game 6-2. We like Edmonton. Connor McDavid at home. Colorado's been shaky, up and down. They're better at home. Although they were good on the road at Winnipeg, they won 4-0 in their previous game. They had to give back here. They lost 6-2. So that was a winner for the gambling god. Dallas Stars, we had them. We had the Dallas hat on yesterday at Vancouver. That was a winner chicken dinner for the, actually it was a turkey dinner last night, but we were not going to get into that. Dallas won that game. We liked them on the road. San Jose at Anaheim. This was a tight one, 2-2 most of the game. San Jose pulled away in the third period, 4-2. Anthony D was right. The Sharks, he says, fear the Finn, took this one. They seem to be turning their season around. Anthony D will be calling in, talking everything San Jose Sharks. He is our resident San Jose Sharks expert. Then we had Detroit at LA. Detroit pulled it out. That was a winner for the gambling god. A mixed bag in the NHL, but that's what happens when every game goes to overtime. Anything can happen. And last but not least, last night in the NCAA, Michigan State at Seton Hall. Seton Hall covered the 5. I told you to take them plus the 5 to buy it up to +7. They lost 76-73. I did tell you to try them as a winner. They had it in their grasp, down 3 with 4 seconds to play. Weren't able to tie it, but they did cover. So that is your review for November 14, 2019. We will now go on to your fixed schedule, a full slate in the NBA. tonight, and we will get into some NCAA. There's one game that's less than 10 points. We will get into an Australian soccer play that I will give you that you want to take advantage of at 3:30 in the morning. If you want to watch this channel, you need to bet on Australian soccer. I need to bring you into the world of degenerate. We're going to slowly introduce these sports to you. We're going to get into Korean baseball, Japanese baseball. We're going to get into women's volleyball. We're going to get into the Asian community because those sports and the Australian sports go on overnight. So I don't know how many gambling websites and YouTube channels are out there, but I swear to Jesus, this is the only one that's going to talk about Australian soccer. That's not in Australia, okay? There's people in Australia with the little koalas. We may even bring a koala in, ask him his opinion, but I guarantee you this is the only place you're going to get tennis advice, Australian soccer advice, women's Indonesian tennis advice. We're gonna educate you on some of the lesser followed sports so that you can take these plays overnight in conjunction with the early game so that when you wake up you have a 2-team parlay where the first leg is already hit. This is the secret. Like Warren Buffett said, if you don't make money while you're sleeping, you will work for the rest of your life. So I'm going to try to help you to make money while you're sleeping. That's what I'm here for. We're here to take back the advantage from the casinos. They don't want you betting on Australian soccer at 3:30 in the morning. If you can name any team in the Australian A-League, you're a degenerate. If you watch soccer with your mother, you're a degenerate. But I do. That's what the gambling god does. This is what makes me the gambling god. Okay, I'm not sleeping. You guys think I'm sleeping when I log off. I go have a sandwich, and I track the games. So we're going to get into now to your fixed NBA for tonight. First game on the board, San Antonio at Orlando. Orlando fresh off their win over Philadelphia. I'm going to take San Antonio here. I took them in the last game. They lost. They got blown the hell out. I think it's time that San Antonio bounces back. I like them plus 2.5. Buy it up to plus 4.5. But take them to win this game. This will be a tight one. It'll be tough. San Antonio is well coached. And they're going to bounce back here. I expect a big game from LaMarcus Aldridge. Take the Spurs to win this game. Detroit at Charlotte. Charlotte getting 3.5. I like Charlotte to win this game. Detroit's been good, but not good on the road. Charlotte's been better at home. I'm going to go Charlotte Hornets to win outright. I love the 3.5. Buy it up to 5.5 all day long. Indiana at Houston. Houston's giving 6. I like Houston to win this game. I don't think Indiana has the horses to go on the road and hang with a Houston team. I like Houston in a blowout. Sorry about that. Need a little bit of water. I like Houston to win this game going away. Washington at Minnesota. Similar here. I like Minnesota to beat Washington. I don't think Washington is going to go on the road and be able to cover this number. But I'm just giving you winners. I'll only give you spreads if it's an underdog. I'm not going to tell you to take favorites -6. It's completely insane. People, they miss free throws at the end. I did not invent the term point shaving. This existed long before I got involved in all this crap. If I know the spread, Andrew Wiggins knows the spread. If I know the spread, Russell Westbrook knows the spread. If I know the spread, James Harden knows the spread. And this is significant because if Houston is up by 7 or 6 points at the end, you will routinely see these teams killing time, missing free throws, putting up crazy shots, fouling each other, all kinds of nonsense. I'm not getting involved in it. It is difficult enough to pick the winner. Minnesota Timberwolves defeat the Washington Wizards tonight. Take Minnesota. Philly at OKC, an interesting one. I like OKC. Even though Philly is the better team, something tells me OKC takes this one. They're home. I think that they hang with them. Philly has a tremendous lineup. I'm going OKC to win and cover. Take them plus 5.5. The spread is 3.5. If you're on a website where you could buy it up, buy it up. Utah at Memphis. Memphis is getting 7.5 at home. I'll take Memphis, buy it up to 9.5. Utah wins, Memphis covers. Boston at Golden State. Boston wins. I don't like Golden State to cover. D'Angelo Russell is playing well. Golden State's a patchwork quilt this year. A lot of injuries. Just take the Celtics to win. There is no value there. I don't see value in that game. Last but not least, Sacramento at the Lakers. Lakers minus 10.5. I'm going to take Sacramento to cover the 10.5. Buy it up to 12.5. It's a lot of points. Of course, you have LeBron, and of course, you have Davis. It's in LA. The Lakers are obviously one of those teams where people are going to take them. There is really no value in the Lakers minus 10.5. Don't be surprised if Sacramento wins this game. And I'm not saying this based on athletic ability. I'm saying this because it's all fucking fixed. It's the last game on the board. It's the Lakers. People are going to jump all over them. And the way the bookies even the money out here, if they have a ton of money on the Lakers, is they will let Sacramento get ahead. You will see this. Sacramento will be ahead in this game at some point, just to make people nervous so that they hedge their bets off and take Sacramento. And then all of a sudden, just like in the Nets game last night, when enough money comes in on the Lakers, they will show you the real result. That's all that happens. Last night, Denver was down by 10. Everybody that had Denver jumped on the Nets to try to hedge off their bet. And once enough money was on the Nets, they, just like in Broadway, when the curtain goes up, then the bookies revealed their result. And they allowed Denver to win the game when it didn't matter anymore, because all they want is that vig in the middle. If you notice on a pick'em, it's minus 110, which means that you have to lay 110 to win 100. And so if it's a pick'em on either side, it's 110 and 110 to win 100. The bookies just want that 10. That's all they want. And once it's even, they're guaranteed to make a profit. So on a game like this where the Lakers are minus 10.5, it will not surprise me to see Sacramento ahead at halftime. These are the kinds of games where you want to take a team like Sacramento, you want to take a prop bet, go into the first half, bet Sacramento to be leading at halftime. You take these good teams, bet these good teams to be trailing at halftime. They will routinely be trailing at halftime. Golden State, when they were in their prime and they were blowing teams out, they would constantly be behind at halftime. You want to make some money tonight? Go take the Lakers to be down at halftime, which means take Sacramento on the money line in the first half. Try it. Take Memphis on the money line in the first half. Take Golden State on the money line in the first half. Take Oklahoma City on the money line in the first half. Take Indiana on the money line in the first half. Try it. $5. See what happens. Monitor it. Just like the prop bet to bet the overtime in hockey. I'm not saying this is going to hit all the time, but you have to get used to it. You have to get out of the mentality of just betting the spread or the money line. There are other plays that you can take. These first half bets hit constantly. It will not surprise me if the Lakers are down by 10 at halftime. Just like the Nets were up yesterday at half, New Orleans was up yesterday at half. Think about it. The good teams that everybody bets, they ease off the throttle, they're behind. Vegas makes a ton of money on the first half action, and then the next thing you know, they go on a third quarter run by 17, and they win the game. And when people look at the box score, they don't even notice that the good team was behind at half. But I do, because I'm awake all night looking at Australian soccer. And what else am I doing but looking at these box scores to help you? I am here to help you. And when this goddamn phone starts ringing, we're going to get into all this. Tennis, boxing, Joe the Barber's going to call. We're going to have a McNugget eating competition. We're going to have things going that no one's ever thought of, okay? We're going to do the drive, the 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock. We're going to be live streaming. I'm going to take your calls. Blackjack Joe's going to call in. I'm going to have strippers here. All kinds of nonsense is going to go on. We're going to put people out of business. So that's your NBA for your Friday, November 15. Now on to the NHL. Boston at Toronto, tight one, was the playoff matchup last year. I'm taking Boston to win this game. They have the better goalie. They have the better team. Toronto's very good at home. I'm going Boston -1 on the money line to win. Toronto's a good team. Let's go Boston Bruins in this game. Here you are, Bruins. Pittsburgh at New Jersey. I don't take Pittsburgh. I have no faith in them. They've screwed me too many times. I got a bad taste in my mouth with them. I'm going Devils here. We're the Devils. Anyway, Devils plus 101. Let's try the Devils to win this one at home in overtime, because every game goes to overtime. Montreal at Washington, this is tricky. Montreal can win this game. Well, I like Washington, but at -157, there's not a lot of value. There is more value in Montreal. I'm not saying Montreal's going to win, but they're a good team. They're a gritty team. They're a tough team. They're a playoff-tested team. They're a solid team, and they can win this game. So the value here is in Montreal, not in Washington. If you like Washington, monitor this. Let them go down 1-0. If they go down 1 or 2-0, jump on Washington on the money line. That's where you get your value. If you like a team and you think they're going to win, but it's going to be tight, let it start and hope that they go down early. I know this sounds like crazy advice, but the teams that you like, if they do go down early, because typically when you like a team, they give up the early goal. That's just the way that it is. Let them give up the early goal, then go on live betting and take them. Don't take them outright. If you like Washington, let Montreal get up on them first. Once Montreal gets up, jump on Washington. This is what I do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But very rarely do you see a situation where a team like Montreal's is going to get up and go 1, 2, 3, 4, nothing, and then win. It happened at Tampa Bay last night. They went up 4-1, and that was the end. But most of the time, you guys gamble, the games are close. This is why hockey is your best bet. The games are close, they're tight, by and large. They are 2-2, 1-1, 3-3, 2-3, the whole way. Most of these games go to overtime. This is the sport you want to bet. You don't want to get involved in the NBA. The B in NBA stands for betting. Jesus Christ. They start them off early in the NCAA, and if you think college basketball is not fixed, you need to get your fucking head examined. And then they graduate, and they go into the NBA, and the same Italian guys that beat up these friggin' guys in college, they follow them into the NBA, and they beat them up again. You don't see hockey players dropping dead in car accidents, do you? Do you see families of hockey players, flying their planes into buildings like the guy Corey Lytle that pitched for the Yankees? Do you see that? Do you see hockey players dying in plane accidents? Do you see hockey players dying in one-car accidents? No, you don't, because nobody bets on hockey. They bet on basketball, football, college basketball, long before they would ever think about betting hockey. Long before they would ever think about betting hockey. And then baseball. So there are 5 sports ahead of hockey that people bet. Nobody bets on hockey. That's why I like it. It's under the radar. Of course it's fixed, but it's not as fixed as college basketball. I mean, college basketball and professional basketball are known to be fixed. We're not even going to talk about the NFL. The F in NFL stands for fixed. For the love of Jesus, okay? That's what it stands for. If you think that the NFL is legitimate, you're fucking nuts. You probably think Hulk Hogan is a real athlete. Of course you do, right? You like Bill Goldberg, don't you? You like these people. You think these people, you like the Dudley Boys. Fuck you. These are not real athletes. I mean, they're athletes, but they're actors. Okay, these guys are all buddies, they're all friends. Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph had a beer last night with Roger Goodell. They watched the news and said, look at all the ratings that we got, that Myles Garrett hit Mason Rudolph in the head with the fucking helmet. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed fucking Steeler. The next thing you know, the ratings go through the friggin' roof. So that's what you have to be aware of. This hockey flies under the radar. Bruins, Devils, Canadians. Next, St. Louis at Columbus. My game of the day. Columbus hasn't been that good. St. Louis Blues all day long. They have the fat kid on the screen for all these Blues games when she's home. They play the glorious song. The Blues won the cup last year. I'm taking them. Of course they will lose. Columbus hasn't been that good this year at home. St. Louis has Binnington in net, a great young goalie. I think St. Louis wins this. There's a ton of value here in this game. And last but not least, Philadelphia at Ottawa. Tricky. Very tricky. Ottawa is on the rise. They're not a bad team. They've been very good. I don't like to pick against them. I like Philly. I'm going to take Ottawa here. I don't like doing this. I like Philadelphia. I like their team, but Ottawa has shown me something. I'm going to take Ottawa to win this game. Again, I like Philly. I think this game goes to overtime because every game goes to overtime. But if I had to pick a winner, I'll pick Ottawa here. I don't want to, but I will. Boston, Jersey, Montreal, St. Louis, Ottawa. Those are your winners in hockey for tonight. NCAA, 1 game under a 10-point spread. Gonzaga, the Zags with Mark Few, because he probably has few testicles left after the bookies got to him. Gonzaga is at Texas A&M. Texas A&M getting 8.5 points. I'm going to take Texas A&M, buy it up to 10.5. Home team getting 10.5 points. I will take it. Try them to win for $15 or $20. Give it a shot. Upsets happen in college basketball all the time. And this is something that I want to review. You guys watch sports. You guys watch ESPN. You very well know that ESPN loves to broadcast the fans storming the court. And I am never on the right side of that. I am always on the side of the team that loses, that gets assaulted by the fans. But no more. I want you to start taking these home fucking teams. We need to be on the side of the team that storms the court. No more Gonzaga minus 8.5. There's no friggin' value there. Let's take Texas A&M. We're going to gamble. Let's friggin' gamble. Put some money on A&M. Buy it up to 10.5. Try them on the money line. If you want, take them plus 10.5 for some money. Watch the game. Don't go to Wawa. Don't go to the movies. Don't watch Pornhub. I want you to watch the game and monitor on live betting. You take A&M plus 10.5 just like Sacramento and you watch these games. And if A&M goes ahead, and they will, and you can get Gonzaga plus a few points, grab them. Now you've got A&M plus 10.5, and you've got Gonzaga maybe plus 2 or 3. If A&M wins by 1 or 2, you hit both bets. And at the beginning, if you take A&M for $10 or $15 on the money line and they win, and Gonzaga covers on the live betting spread, you've hit all 3 bets. You're welcome, motherfucker. Okay? You couple that with Sacramento, and that's how you make money. You don't make money laying 400 to win 100 on Gonzaga. That's how you lose money. How do I know? Because I've lost money doing it. Thank you, Andrew Luck. So that's the way I'm going to coach you to gamble. I want you to take these home underdogs with these big spreads and monitor the game, and then on live betting, grab the favorite when they fall behind. Is it complicated? Yes, but it is not easy to make money in this world. It is complicated to make money in this world. It is just like getting laid. It is not easy. You don't just snap your fingers and women appear. None of us are Brad Pitt. You got to work at it. It's a process, and that's exactly what this is. The hockey, the same thing. You like a team, let them fall down, take them on the live betting. Basketball, take these big home underdogs, hope that they go ahead, and then grab the original favorite on the money line. I'm going to take Texas A&M here, first half action to be ahead. Let's see if it hits. Why not? A home underdog? Who's going to bet that? No one's going to bet it. Everyone's going to sit there and say, I mean, the general public are fucking retarded, and you people know this, okay? People are going to look at this, and they're going to say, well, you know, Gonzaga, they should be ahead at the half. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen, okay? I like A&M to be ahead at the half. I like Sacramento to be ahead at the half. I like Golden State to be ahead at the half. I like Memphis to be ahead at the half. I like Indiana to be ahead at the half. They want to scare the shit out of the people that have taken the favorites, so they hedge their bets. You know what I'm talking about. You've done it. You've lived it. Stop being afraid of it. Get on the other side of it. It's not always going to happen. It's not always going to hit. But you need to look at these things and understand this is Friday night. It's getting cold out. People are staying in the house. They're gambling. Everyone is encouraging you to gamble. They want you to gamble. So you know what? Let's fucking gamble, okay? Let's start taking these underdogs. First half action, let's take them to be ahead for the love of Jesus Christ on the cross. We got to get a cross in here. So maybe we don't want any religion. We got a flag. We got the flag. So anyway, next on the slate, I'm going to present to you something that I do. Now, you have to be aware that on Saturday morning is typically when you have most of your European soccer. I think they have some European Cup going on because there's always some kind of tournament going on in Europe. They love the soccer in, I mean, they love the soccer in Europe, okay? But I'm going to give you some. Australia has a soccer league called the A-League. A, as in Australia. It's very basic. And they got a bunch of teams there, and they normally play like 2 games on Friday and 2 games Saturday, or maybe 3 Saturday, whatever it is. There's not many teams in the league. But what you have to do, I mean, this is still, listen, it's a soccer match. Who gives a shit who's playing? Who gives a shit if it's the MLS or if it's La Liga, Bundesliga, Premier League? Who cares? Okay? You're a degenerate. I'm going to give you something to do. If you want something to do after the games are over, like after midnight, do yourself a favor. There's 2 games. The first one, I'm not taking action in on Australia, but if you have a website and you're doing this, go into the Australia A League. Okay, we're even going to get into Australian horse racing at some point, but I don't want to overwhelm you with the level of my degenerate abilities. So we're going to start very basic. There are 2 teams playing at 3:30 in the morning. Okay, you're welcome. Western United and the Newcastle Jets. You want Western United. They are the second ranked team. They have 10 points on the table right now. What you want to do is you want to parlay them with Missouri. No one is doing this. You will be the only person literally on the face of the planet doing this. Give it a fucking try. Now, the risk in soccer is the draw. The draw is the issue because there's a third possible outcome. So when you bet soccer, you always have to be aware of the draw. What they do with the draw is this is how they fuck the favorites. They give the team that's not as good a penalty kick, they'll score, then the good team will tie it, and it'll end in a draw. So when I give you a soccer play, okay, always be aware that the draw is possible. I'm not telling you it's a lock. But if you want to have a little action and possibly take a play that when you wake up you'll have half of the parlay already won, I'll give you 2 pieces of advice on this game. You could try the draw with Missouri. Missouri plays at noon. They play Florida. Florida's given 6.5. Missouri is a very difficult place to play. It's a rivalry game. It's the SEC. Florida, you know, they're down to their 3rd string quarterback. He's not that bad, but he didn't look that good against Georgia. Of course, it's Georgia. Missouri is a different animal. However, these are the parlays that will pay off. You could try Western United to win with Missouri. $10, $20. You wake up, half the parlay might be in. They might have won. It's a soccer match. It's going to be 1-0, 2-1 something. But the draw is possible to come out. And of course, Newcastle could beat them. So there are 3 different outcomes. My advice, take Western United and Missouri. Try it. Put $5 on it. You wake up, half the parlay might be in. So that's Australian soccer. That's one NCAA game right now. We'll get to the rest of it, but that's just an early one. Everything else at noon is a double-digit spread. I don't get involved in double-digit spreads. We will come back with more NCAA in a separate video. I think Notre Dame goes at 2:30. They stagger the games. We will get into those. I need to lower the heat because I think I'm having a stroke. I am sweating like a hostage in this seat. So that is your gambling guide for November 15, 2019. The fixed Friday night slate, one of our last shows before we open up the phone lines and start live streaming. I want you to call in, please. We will talk football tomorrow during the show. I want to talk gambling. I want to talk college football. I want to talk professional football. We'll talk about the week, I think it was this week 11 coming up. If you have a fantasy lineup question, I do plenty of fantasy football. I do anything to distract me from the real world. So we had the Granddaddy League. We'll talk about bringing it back. If you want to bring back the Granddaddy League, the 4-sport rotisserie league where we drafted it all at once, what we did was we all got into a room and we all drafted a football, basketball, hockey, and baseball team at the same time. The concept of the Granddaddy League was where you could trade one player from one sport for another sport. For instance, Brett Favre for Shaquille O'Neal. So you had 4 teams. They ran independently, but you got a score, and each score got added to the other. So your football score got added to your baseball, to your basketball, to your hockey, and then we had the ultimate champion. The league began with football in September, and it ended in August with baseball. We cut baseball off 1 month. So Joe Bolero, God rest him, said, "Salami, you're a genius. It ends and it begins. It begins and it ends." So we start with football, and then we go into basketball and hockey, and then we end with baseball. You trim your roster. You keep certain number of players. Then we kept like 14 or 16 players, and then you redraft it again. The players are drafted with salaries. So we bid. We had a salary cap. I think the salary cap was $6,500 of fake dollars. We would bid in $5 increments, 5, 10, 15, 20. So say Brett Favre went for $350, Shaquille O'Neal went for $600. You make the deal. You trade Favre for Shaq. Now you have a center. You don't have a quarterback. You got to make a move. You pick up free agents. You make deals. There are categories. It's a lot of fun. It gives you something to do other than listening to your wife or your girlfriend bitch and moan about you getting fat and jerking off to porn, which is fine. You're better off with the porn. At least it ends. You don't got to listen to her talk. Anyway, Gambling God coming to you, talking about Granddaddy League. Call me. We're going to get into the Australian horse racing. I've given you a taste of my degenerate abilities with the Australian soccer. There's an entire league to talk about. There is Indonesian tennis. There is South Korean volleyball. There is Dancing with the Stars. There is American Idol. There is surfing. There is chess. There is Special Olympics. And there is Little League. We have only scratched the surface, just easing you in, just a tip, just for a second, just to see how it feels, just to give you a little idea of where we're headed with this. We are going to cover all sports. We're going to get into Roger Federer. We're going to get into Nadal and Djokovic, all the female tennis players, all the tournaments, all the boxing matches. We will do MMA. We will. If you have a child that is in some kind of a soccer or baseball league, we will cover it. We'll put a point spread on it. We will take action. Whatever you want to talk about, I encourage you to call me. We are going to be here 5 days a week from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock doing the drive. So when you're driving home, you can live stream me in the car, bring me with you, stick me up by the air conditioner. I don't care. What else am I doing? We're going to get into it. We're going to stuff chickens. We're going to deliver them. We're going to have eating contests. We're going to release animals into the street. We're going to have hookers in the studio. Anything you want, we'll do. You request it. The Gambling God will do it. This is more than gambling. We're going to talk cat care. We're going to talk about recipes. We're going to bring you into the world of the Gambling God, which now requires a reduction in the heat because I have lost 10 pounds sitting here. We have a nice sandwich waiting for us. We have some more activities for the evening. We might come back. It's Friday night. We're not going out. So I wish you well. St. Louis Blues tonight is the play of the night. We like them on the road. There is value there. I will give you a special bonus to anyone who bets the Australian soccer. Please text me. Gambling God. We're going to have to get up out of the chair right now. I think we're stuck to it. Coming to you live. Signing off for the night. I am sorry. I am walking over here. The Gambling God is now signing off. Bill the cat is saying goodnight. Anthony D, San Jose goes down tomorrow.